views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Meetings of the Minds. This is a very special episode because it is June and we are about to experience something we have not experienced in a long time, which are virtual festivals. The New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is affiliated with the 116th Street Festival. We partner every year and do a kickoff events that our members and our partners are able to come and network together. And many of our partner restaurants join us for free sampling of incredible cuisines, and they are never reluctant to say yes. They immediately jump on the opportunity to interact and engage with each and every one of us. Since the festivals are not going virtual, we found that it was our responsibility to say thank you by making sure that you hear from the restaurants, the owners, find out where they have been, what they've been doing, how they have risen above the challenges of COVID-19, and more importantly, how you and I can continue to support them. So thank you and welcome William Valentin, co-owner of Port Morris Distillery. So tell us about your business.
So initially our business is making moonshine. We make a Puerto Rican style moonshine. We're the first ones to do it legally in the United States. It's been done hundreds of years in Puerto Rico illegally, but we're the first ones to do it legally in the United States. We have 9 different flavors, and we also entertain. By entertaining, it's not only entertaining, it's a cultural event where you're able to learn the Puerto Rican culture, a little bit of what we're about, a lot of bomba, plena, and when you go there, you learn a little bit about the history of Puerto Rico. So it's not only a place where you're going to come just drink booze, it's a social experience.
Right, and you can see the social experience as soon as you go in with the decor. It just really brings you back to that organic way we all used to be. Makes it a very comfortable environment to even make friends. I know that during COVID, a lot of places like the Port Morris Distillery had to close. What was the most challenging part of what for all of this?
So closing was heartbreaking because we're point where we're over the hump, meaning we're no longer putting money out of our pockets. The business was running itself finally. Although that doesn't mean it has a big bank account, by no means. So we were really only going to be able to sustain this without being open maybe 3 months, 4 months at most, and then we would have been shut down for good. So that's where we were. So it was very heart-wrenching because we understood that we weren't going to be able to open, and we didn't know how long we're going to be at this. Even if this, even if we start reopening the city and state, it's still going to be hard for people to open up and for other people to feel comfortable about having social gatherings.
Did you apply for SBA or PPP? How was that process?
So we applied for SBA loans, nothing. We applied for PPE loans, nobody got back to us. We've made phone calls. So all that help that the government screamed about getting to minority owners and owners of any, not only minority owners, just owners of businesses. It didn't get to us. It didn't get to us. It didn't get to many people in the Bronx, unfortunately. I don't know the full statistics, but I'm sure. I know. I have a network of friends, and many of them didn't get any help.
Right.
So we're really struggling at this alone. We were asked and told we had to shut down, but the government didn't say shut down. We're going to pay your rent. Shut down. We're going to make sure that your people hold. They're just telling you to shut down.
Yeah.
So with no recourse. So yeah, just shut down. Like your whole life savings. You have to shut down. No, and all this help that they screamed about didn't get to us.
Right.
So there's a little bit of injustice there.
There's a lot of injustice there. I think you were very nice to say a little bit of injustice, and we heard it across the board, Billy. But as Latinos, we owe, as Latinos, as people of beautiful color, we always rise above. And you're not new to this. I want you to talk about how you reinvented yourselves, how you and Rafael reinvented yourselves during this.
Yeah. So thankfully, thank God, I was after Ralphie for several weeks that we had to make hand sanitizer. We had to make hand sanitizer. It was the need, but we really didn't have the money to invest. And when I first told them about it, we weren't able to sell hand sanitizer. It was just for giving away. We really didn't have the resources to start making it, just to give away. We didn't have it. So several weeks passed, and the government reached out to micro distilleries to start making hand sanitizer. And they said that we were able to sell it. So the minute we heard that, I got on the phone with Ralph. I'm like, Ralph, we have to do this. And he's like, all right, let's go. So it was quite difficult because, so you can imagine, just in New York, I believe there's over 200 micro distilleries. And so start thinking about across the United States. Every micro distillery rushed to get the byproducts that they needed, because we all had alcohol, but all of us needed glycerin. All of us needed hydrogen peroxide. So it was a free for all. So me and Ralphie's making phone calls. It took us 3 to 4 days just to locate our other products. And then it took us maybe a week to really get into, to making it. And then even after that, it was a challenge sourcing bottles to bottle it. So me and Ralphie, thank God our first hits were pretty good. Were very good. We were able to give a pretty big order to the Hunts Point market, which was awesome. I believe Kelly Fox is the person we work with. Amazing. He reached out to us and he helped us. And then after that, the construction fields came in. All the sheet metal workers, the sheet metal companies. I'm a local 28 sheet metal worker by trade. So most of the owners called me, listen, we want to get our hand sanitizer from you. So they were coming in by 55 gallons. So, and then we turned to our online sales, and all of our constituents, they're great. So they could have got it somewhere else, and they all came to our website to purchase hand sanitizer. So the first 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it was a roller coaster ride. I'm like literally a roller coaster ride. Now it's a little upsetting. Our government, I don't know, man. I just don't know. They reach out to you, and again, we're resilient and we always pivot to the left. But it's funny. They reached out to us and they tell us, and we're not the only ones. This is happening across the world. So mind you, across the world, every government reached out to micro distilleries, and they asked us to load up on hand sanitizer, that we need hand sanitizer. Hence, fast forward for two months, a month and a half, 2 months, we all piled up. I have a stockpile that's maybe gonna last me another 5 months if I get to sell it at all, because the government, our duly leaders, they allowed for major importation of hand sanitizer from China.
I want to know, number one, how we can help you as the chamber through this network to make sure that those 5 months supply at least get sold. And number two, I also want our audience to understand that Port Morris Distillery is a human organization. Like Ralph and Billy and the whole family just takes it upon themselves to help their community in every way possible. whether to offer their space, whether to go out there and collect food for Hurricane Maria, be supportive at events. They are always there. And I want you to understand how important it is to know that it is our turn to give back to them. So with that said, Billy, how can we help you? How can the people help you?
So we got to start going to these big companies. I mean, there's no reason for me to go into a CVS in the southeast corner of the Bronx or the South Bronx or Rite Aid and look on the shelf and see fancy names, and you look at the back of the bottle and it's all from China and Korea. You know, like those stores, even though they're major chains, they should be buying from local sources. We're talking about buying local. If we're talking about preserving our way of life in the United States, if we're talking about bringing manufacturing back, there's got to be a way where we're able to get in front of these companies and say, listen, if you're buying hand sanitizer, these are the local companies selling them, and if you're going to be, your stores in this area should be carrying this. You know, and we as a community, we should be asking for that. We should be wanting that. You know, and because the money, our money circulates in our community maybe once or twice, and then it leaves our community. Our money should stay in our community. It should be still circulating in our community 5, 6, 7 times. It's not doing that. That's why we don't have wealth.
And what I'm hearing is economic justice starts with us. We can't be talking about it if we're not buying local, if we're not supporting our local restaurants. So I hear you. We are with you. Billy, are you guys going to open up soon? And where do we contact you? What's the best way?
So we www.portmorrisdistillery.com for any purchases in New York.
Do you want to say anything to the Puerto Rican community at this point before we close out?
So I definitely want to thank my Puerto Rican and Latino community for always supporting us. Also, every other nationality. We have a really big following. If you notice, when you come into Port Morris Distillery, we don't have any flags flying. It's Port Morris Distillery. I mean, everybody knows it's a Puerto Rican establishment, but we welcome everybody and we treat everybody like family. So I want to thank everybody who supported us over the past 9 years. We've been in business 9 years, 7 years, open to the public. So I want to thank everybody that's made it possible for us to be here and to another 20 years.
To another 20 years, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us on Meetings of the Minds. We're so grateful to you and all your hard work. When we're here to support you, anything you need, you already know we're a phone call away.
Thank you.